never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Good evening, everybody. As the end of the video showed you, our regular host, Iron Oxide, is currently under the weather. I am Professor Savage Dad, keeping the show alive. The show must go on no matter what happens. Tonight, we are going to talk a little bit about all of the crap that Sony seems to be wanting to get into with fucking with everybody's favorite stuff. But first, let's get into intros tonight, and let's start down there. Mr. Strider, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, doing okay. I've just got a Dune board game that I bought last weekend, and I'm trying to make sense of it. And yeah, it's gonna be kind of interesting, but just ready to get talking about the idiocy in the world. It's gonna be fun.
There we go. Does it come with a sandworm bucket?
It does not come with the sandworm bucket. It does come with the gigantic purple vagina.
Oh, where can I get one? I mean,
your local comic shop.
Fuck, I don't have one.
By local comic shop, I mean your local Adam and Eve. And by your local Adam and Eve, I mean Amazon.
All right, Tiny. How are you doing this evening, Tiny but fierce?
I'm all right. And yourself?
Not bad. Glad to see you made it to the show tonight.
Yep.
Welcome.
Happy to be here. I normally have my Fridays taken up, so it's really fun to actually be here for once, finally, and then Iron's not here.
This happens. That happened when I still, every time I was supposed to stream with Moxie Dame, I managed to not be around. Her and I have the same kind of motif going of just not being able to catch each other.
Mm.
All right, MSK. I know you've got big plans for this evening, sir. What do you got going on, dude?
Well, not much. I've just been I've been getting all the content structured like I've been mentioning. We just hit 900 subscribers, so that was really cool.
Oh yeah,
and so we're now in the countdown to 99 subscribers away from hitting 1,000 again. And then when I can get access to this third email account, then I'll just have this other YouTube channel just for Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. But tonight we'll have Mexican Iron Man on at 6:30 my time, and then we'll have Friday bangers with Darnell, Emerald, and Nate, where we're gonna go over some of the topics actually, because there was a lot of juicy stuff this week. Chris Hemsworth is saying what we already were saying. It's almost as if like the fans know what's been going on, but they're finally starting to admit it. So it just feels. It feels so good to have someone like feel vindicated. I don't even need validation. It just feels good when you're like, okay, now I know I wasn't crazy. Now I know I'm not a crazy ex that's trying to slash your tires. You were cheating on me, actually.
Oh, dude, exactly. Yeah, it's good to see some sanity coming to Hollywood. I don't know if they're there yet, but maybe we're over the peak and they're coming back down the better side of it. But we'll see what happens there. And our celebrity here in the middle, this guy starring on FNT tonight, Vagabundo.
Right.
What's going on, my man?
And nothing much. Just you'll catch me around everywhere. I'll be after this stream. I'll be on Bezel Pub later tonight, and you'll probably, if anyone coming to MomoCon, I'll be over there. I'm going to the Sim concert, so I'll be trying to put out videos, but I'll just cross my fingers on that.
It takes time to get videos put together. I have the same exact problem. I put videos out not nearly often enough. But speaking of putting out videos, Darnell, what do you got going on? Where's your co-host Helhound tonight, my man?
Was that?
Your co-host Helhound tonight.
I don't know. I thought he was supposed to. I think. Oh, he's at work and they moved his hotel. Moved from hotel to hotel, and he said he had to leave out like super early tomorrow morning, so he's not coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
what are you up to then?
For Jen, tell me start. To be fair. Thank you.
To be fair.
I'm just working on some more music tonight after the show. I'm hoping to finish up enough time to get on MSK's Friday Night Bangers. But yeah, we're just working on the Sham Records music. That seems to be, I guess, moving along very nicely. So yeah, AI music at its best.
There we go. All right. Drunken Emerald Arrow, what are you up to, my man?
Just a few streams over the weekend. Looking forward to doing them. Got MSK later this evening, and then whatever happens over the weekend. Not a whole lot going on. I will say that I've watched all of up to episode 7 of X-Men 97, and I have only one question to ask. How did Marvel allow this to get made?
In a good way. You see that in a good way,
In
right?
a good way. In a good way.
Fired. Now we all know why they fire the guy that made it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
He did something right.
Got in their way.
And sucks dick. That's still not good enough.
Nope.
I mean, what did they tell us for those? What did they tell us for those DEI qualifications? Black and gay is not enough.
Yeah, imagine what?
Not kidding. That's a direct quote.
Yep.
Imagine
It's
that.
not
Getting
enough.
on your knees and taking it up the ass. Even if I make a good show, doesn't matter. You're still fired. Bruh.
Yep. Pretty much. All right, Joker's voice. What's up, man? What are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm spending my time with you lovely people here. And then I got a busy weekend with WWE Backlash. More content with that coming up. And for some reason, WWE is starting to bleed into mainstream Hollywood culture because of a certain asshole named Dwayne Johnson. So,
Ugh. I was over the rock a long time ago.
amen.
Frankly, I mean, all of the people who were worth watching kind of got out of it, but Steve Austin was always better, and his farm videos from Instagram are a million times more interesting than anything that The Rock has been doing or in the last 5 years.
I've said this, and I've said this, and I'm on a weekly show with some people who are still in love with the Attitude Era and want the Attitude Era to come back. And I said the Attitude Era is dead. Those storylines were garbage. With the exception of fan interaction, there's nothing redeemable about the Attitude Era. The level of athlete we have now far exceeds the Attitude Era, and it's no longer controlled by Vincent Kennedy McMahon. All are net positive.
They are. I just don't think that it hasn't been as engaging. The Attitude Era had something that had characters, maybe not storylines, but characters that were interesting. Or more interesting. There's something that isn't quite catching the zeitgeist yet. But I can see what you're saying about the stories in it.
I will say this: the WWE and professional wrestling is hotter now than it has ever been.
I just also want to point out the Rock recently came out and he had made that political thing with Fox, right? And there's a hit piece that rap article that came out about him and the production sent issues. Now keep in mind that guy that wrote that article, that Mexican guy, that dirty stinking immigrant, he has been known to just conjure up hit pieces on people when they don't conform to the narrative. Humberto Gonzalez, that's the guy who writes for the rap. It's a big name guy. Just saying, The Rock recently said, "I'm not going to be politically divisive with my audience," and then that hit piece came out. Just pointing out, not a coincidence. Just saying. Right. I'm not saying, and that's not true because this guy's had some stories about him for a long time. I mean, he came into the Fast and Furious crew and they started having some problems. So I'm just saying, it's not a coincidence.
Difficult to work with.
Try to take over the DC part. Try to take
over Fast and Furious too. Yeah. So I'm just saying,
Warner Brothers.
Yep. So tonight we wanted to get into talking a little bit. Oh, I hate this shit that Sony's been up to with Helldivers, this new EULA thing, EULA thing. That's easier to say. So, and a few other things about that. But I wanted to bring up this article and see what did you guys, who amongst us is actually playing Helldivers with some regularity right now?
I don't think anyone is.
Not me.
I was planning to buy it, but now there's I just saved $40 on my car insurance.
Yeah, same. My brother's been playing it. I would love to play with him, but I'm not touching this shit.
I was gonna, with all of the hype behind it, I was about to get it, and then this happened, and I'm like, nope, done.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said for the idea that this was just this is a lot of the other things that they do where they keep kind of just fucking up these things that I think if they would have said, hey, we're going to give you, I don't know, fucking $10 worth of content on here. Here's some guns. Here's some weapons. Here's some free shit. If you link your Sony account, we're gonna give you something for it. There's a better way that they could have sold this utter stupidity than just you've got to get a stupid fucking Sony account now because we're couching it in the languages of we're gonna do this in order to keep players safe. How? What the hell?
Doing this for your own good, despite the fact that Sony has a great reputation for protecting people's data. It's not like there's been a half a dozen of those instances. One of them happened October of last year, for God's sake. Come on.
Well, I think the main problem for me too, besides the Sony account thing, you have to have I have a Sony network account, but the problem for me is okay, if you made an account and you say you didn't get the memo for whatever reason, you might be on a trip or whatever, and then you come back to play and you just see oh, well, I have to start all over, everything I built up and stuff. And then you see that's happened to me with some Nexon games where I haven't played for a while, and a game I really grinded as a solo player on, and I didn't know they switched everything over to where Nexon wasn't funding the studio anymore. So basically I lost all my save data and everything.
Oh,
and it was and it was I had probably mad out hundreds and hundreds of hours in the game, and it was all gone. And I was so your motivation to play again is do I want to even play again or whatever? So that's my main issue with it. And I can get where it's okay, we all of us that use Steam are not trying to mix our Sony PlayStation account. I hate if I play any game that's trying to have me install anything that's not anything to do with Steam on it for whatever reason.
Exactly. No, I hate one thing I've liked about, so that's one of the things I feared about when Sony started publishing stuff on PC is, are they going to do like some other people did? Are they going to make me link to the fucking shitty process to go through? Like Sony's UI for a lot of their websites. I mean, my camera, my audio gear is, I have a lot of Sony stuff, but like their website to get through to do things with is ass. It just is. Even the PlayStation might have good UI, and they could probably get a couple of those guys to maybe redo their website because it sucks. But I also hate anything EA's crap when you get an EA game and you have to sign up for Origin or the
Uplay. Remember
it's not
Uplay
Origin
or whatever?
anymore. It's some other generic.
Was it Uplay? Who had Uplay?
Yeah, Ubisoft.
I hate
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
God damn it! It logs me out it logs me out every week, and then I have to remember my nasty password, and it's So you can't just remember me. I haven't changed. My computer hasn't changed. My data hasn't changed. Can't you just fucking remember me on this PC, please?
What would make them less frustrating is if they, because especially when they're linking between these apps, you're logging into Steam, and then you've got to go. And it's like, could you just maybe load a certificate to Steam, like load a security cert with Steam, so at least you once it's connected, it's done. Like your phone does this with a lot of things. When you link, if you have like digital copies of movies and you have Vudu and Movies Anywhere and some of the other movie sites and Paramount, you can link them and they'll store a certificate with each other so that they understand that, like, I can access my digital versions of movies on Amazon, YouTube, wherever I linked my account to that original source of identity. They could do that if these things that, like, if they're video game apps like Epic and EA's and Ubisoft's weren't just like an afterthought for them. They're just a really shitty gatekeep to make sure that you're agreeing to some EULA of theirs and setting up a user account so they can say, we have the X number of fucking accounts, registered with us, and so that they can mine your information. And I think somebody posted some of the EULA changes, but I'm kind of wondering also what information they mine out of your Steam account once you link Sony to your Steam account, because a lot of these interactive or these interconnective account things are often meant to mine data and information from the other applications that they're connecting to. So does this give Sony access to all of my Steam data as well?
I think personally what it really is, it's like, okay, it's like the same thing. Remember when PlayStation Network was 100% free on like the PS2 and PS3? And if there was an online game, you just played your place. So that was like the advantage over Xbox, right? Which was Xbox, you have to buy this yearly membership or monthly membership to play a game, to do a multiplayer feature, when I can go to get a PlayStation. I think what it really is down the line is, okay, you get the PlayStation account, and then all of a sudden, well, if you want these certain aspects of the game that we could add in there for free that you already paid for, you need to upgrade your subscription plan. Yep. So instead of being on the free tier, you now need to at least pay $7.99 a month or some shit.
Or well, free on the and it'll be free on the console. But if you're running PC, they're going to charge you an up fee because now you're not using their hardware; you're using your own equipment.
And I wonder if this starts to be something they do with more of their games. I think what's happening is that Sony realized that their games are fucking doing gangbusters on PC. Like, I don't need a PS4 or 5 right now. I've got Final Fantasy 7 Remake on PC. I've got Spider-Man on PC. I've got Helldivers on PC. Like, they're big shit dropping here. God of War as well.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is wait like a year and a half, if that, and eventually the PlayStation games will come out onto Steam. And they're often that's when the bugs are fixed. They're optimized for your machine, like for your computer. It makes so much more sense just to wait a little bit. Yeah,
I mean, whoever is on Steam got a back catalog of how many games? So
200 last I looked.
Many.
Mine just increased because I just bought 2 games that were on sale yesterday. So
same, I bought 2 today.
And I'm about to get 2 myself. I bought that Detractor game for DSP for May 1st.
Tractor game?
Detractor. So it's a game based on DSP's biggest incident. and it's only $4.90. It's $4.99 on Steam right now if you get it.
What?
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds
called
hilarious.
It's called Detractor. And I mean, there's a subtitle, but it's only like $4.99, and so but it's made like it's all 2D and everything, but that's what I made my purchase on. So I got games to play or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like we got plenty of stuff to wait around. This is the thing I always find. I think that the game industry hasn't necessarily caught on to, and I don't think journalists have either. It's like you realize that I don't need to buy a AAA game tomorrow. I've got AAA games from 2 and 3 years ago I haven't even installed yet.
Look, we're hitting the spring Steam sales right now, right?
Yeah.
So we're buying games anywhere right now. So games that we probably like, hey, I wanted to try before, but I didn't have the chance, or it was $70 that it came out at launch, and now you got it for like $5 or $9 or some shit. So you're buying like 10 games like that for the like a cost for one game today, a brand new game for like $60-$70. We're buying like 7 games that we could play right now for that same amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. And
so it's funny. What I'm playing mostly right now is GameCube games on my Wii, because I know I'm guaranteed a fun game because I played them. I played them when I played them back when they came out, and they were fantastic. And that's what I'm playing lately. I'm not playing a whole lot of new stuff, and I don't plan to go back now. Probably the most recent game, the newest game I played, is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which came out in 2016.
Shoot, me on my Switch, I've been playing GoldenEye because I got the Nintendo 64 controller.
Oh wait, I play Super Mario Wonder. That's new.
Yeah, so I got the Switch Nintendo 64 controller, so I could just play all the Nintendo 64 games that I've already beaten, but they got good replay value, unlike most games today.
Yep.
Well, Sony's going to do exactly what, let's see, the comic book industry's done, movie industry. They're doing everything to alienate that. It's going to be the rise of independent games, non-studio based games that you're going to get off of Steam, because they're just going to alienate the customers again.
And the thing is, you have, especially with how much PS5s cost, like what, $500, $600,
500,
you could
get
get
with tax.
Yeah. But the thing is, you could spend that on maybe a less than stellar PC. But here's the thing: the PC will last longer than the PS5 because the PS5's life cycle is coming to an end. That's always been my argument for PC over console, because eventually the console lifespan will end, and the new one will come out. Then you'll spend a couple of $100 more every like 3 or 4 years for a new console to come out for games you may or may not even like. Plus you might be shelling out $60-$70, especially now $70 for games that you don't even know that you're going to like. But whereas you could just spend that money on a decent PC that you can upgrade gradually, that will still, all you got to do is just wait for those games to come out on PC to be ported to Steam or anything else. You don't really need to buy consoles anymore. Just wait a minute for it to come out on PC, and your PC is probably going to last you 8 to 10 years. Like I just upgraded my PC 2 years ago, and I had it. It was a hand-me-down from my buddy, which was old when he handed it down to me, and it was still playing current gen games. It's doing better now, but still, it did not. It cost me maybe $200 to upgrade some of my stuff. Whereas 3 times that would have got me a new console that would just be out of date in 3 years. No, thank you.
To be fair though, I've never had a console for only 3 years. Everyone I've ever owned, I've run 8, 9, almost 10 years out of.
Okay.
Well, it's
but like those are consoles that you enjoyed though, because like I said, I have a Wii. Yeah. I just gave away a GameCube that I've had for years, and it still worked. Well, those are games that they're specifically Nintendo though, because I have the only thing I keep is Nintendo because they're not really that backwards compatible, so I kind of have to keep the consoles around. So that's kind of a different. Nintendo's on a whole different playing field. They're up in heaven.
They're not going to show up on PC either. So
yeah, exactly.
Gotta have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other thing too is like if we just if we ignore everything else, it's just a bad practice. Especially if people already been playing the game for months on end, and you make this change like that to where it's like, well, you can't play the game anymore unless you do this, and this.
Yeah.
It leaves a bad taste in people's mouths.
It's just another bait and switch.
Yeah.
And to be clear, they didn't announce this well ahead of time, right? This just kind of dropped today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it written anywhere else for anyone else to see before now?
No, they had to change it. So let's see here. We had
it shows after June 4th to do it.
Change.
Was it
really
announced
weird.
by any of the developers, any of the CEO of the company,
right here,
like that?
You see the EULA change from before May 3rd to after May 3rd. So this is where Odra here says Sony is covering their tracks after Helldivers 2 debacle. At Sony, are you trying to gaslight customers that are going to lose access to a game they paid for because PSN is not available in their countries?
Yeah, that's the problem that people have been pointing out.
Wow,
that's the problem people have been pointing out. It's not the fact that they changed it; it's the fact that this is not available in a lot of people's countries.
Yep.
I think people are so fucking stupid. Like when something happens, they go, "Well, what's the big deal? Are you just
get an account?"
Like you can't be that fucking retarded in your life. When something happens, you go, "Well, what's the big deal?" How about analyzing the situation and seeing what's actually going on, and going like, "I don't know why people are mad." It's like, bro, you can't be that fucking retarded. Obviously, good lord, this is not.
The thing about it is, people generally don't like being told that, oh, hey, this thing that you already own, and this is the downfall of, I think, a lot, and we saw this with Stellar Blade already that's been going on all week and last week. The downfall of digital media is this: having all of your media digital, not having a physical copy to install and say deuces.
Let's not even forget what Sony just did Let's not forget what Sony just did earlier this year. People not forget that Sony literally removed half of their, a lot of the content that people already paid for off their PlayStation Plus account. Content you paid money for, they removed it. And then when people asked for refunds, they were like, "Oh, we're sorry. We're Wong Ching Chongs. We eat top ramen. No wonder why we should have freaking bombed them." Oh my god! Jeez,
so this is the problem with this is completely the problem when it comes to this move towards all digital content of stuff.
Yep.
And that's why I'm a very big advocate for all physical media. It's because you actually own a physical item that they can't take away from you unless they bust down your door and physically remove it.
Well, they can always shut down your access to the servers to whoever's got it, and they can take it that way from you.
Right. But in addition to that, with having the actual physical media itself and actual discs, you prevent it from them either going, "You want to know what, this is problematic content, so we're going to remove it," even if you paid for it, because when you buy digital, you're not actually buying digital, you're paying a rental fee to hold until they either themselves lose the rights to even have it in their catalog, or, like I said, problematic. So people that have like e-readers, you buy a book, that's a digital copy. Every time you log in to get a new book, they could scan your library and go, "You want to know what? We decided this book has controversial topics, and you want to know what? They'll remove it from your content."
Yeah, exactly.
They think because you don't own it, you're just renting it.
Yeah,
it'll be buried somewhere in the terms of service that we can do it if we want to.
Right.
That's not how ownership works.
Factor in what a piece of shit of a company that is. So you pay your hard-earned money to support this company, and then the content that you paid for, they're like, "Oh, we just remove it, and we're not going to give you a refund."
Yep. They've done this with movies too, on digital movie sites. I can't remember who it was. It might have actually been Paramount, who we'll get to in a little bit.
Actually, I think Sony did that too. If you had a PS
Disney did that,
and you had a certain amount all the time till the PS Vita store closed, and or there was another one. I had a PS Vita and they didn't have a contract with YouTube or Google anymore. So if you didn't have a PS Vita before like a certain time, it was impossible to get a YouTube app on the PS Vita.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like let's have a Roku with the Twitch channel.
You can kind of see here where they have the change here that they made. So before May 3rd, it says, "Do I have to sign into PSN to play a PlayStation game on PC?" Signing into PSN is optional when playing a game on PC. And now it's, "Do I have to sign into a PSN or to PSN to play a PlayStation game on PC? Some PlayStation games may require you to sign in and link to a PSN account. And then below that, it says, do I have to sign into a PSN or to PSN for each PlayStation game on PC? No, once you have synced your account for PlayStation Network for one game, it is synced for the other PlayStation games on PC. So if you unlink the account, it's unlinked to all games. So it's actually seeing all your PlayStation games that you have on PC as well.
So it's not just Helldivers, it's God of War, it's Horizon Zero Dawn, it's probably Tomb Raider. They probably snuck that in somewhere. Jeez.
Yep. Spider-Man, all of them.
Spider-Man,
so it is actually they didn't even notice this here in the article, but if you read that down there, that means they're checking every single game you've got running on Steam now, basically.
Yep. But the other thing too is because we know PlayStation sell at a loss. So, because the whole money, the way they make the money is by you joining the ecosystem. It's not. I mean, I'm sure they get a percentage of the disc, but now that there's a good amount of people who don't buy physical games, they're relying on the memberships. Okay, well, if you pay this tier, you get to play retro games and stuff from PS1, PS2, and stuff like that. If you lose, even if you downloaded the game to the PlayStation, you can say you didn't pay for a month, you can no longer play the games until you re-add your subscription or something like that.
Yeah.
You think this could be because like they kind of got me thinking, Vagabond, if because PlayStations do sell at a loss, and 2020 was disastrous for the release of the PS5. Like nobody could get them, and they were also nobody had games to play on them. So, I don't know. Do you think this could be a way that they're trying to recoup some of their maybe not some of their losses, maybe at this point, but maybe some of their stockholder faith by trying to connect all this. So actually, no, look at all these games. Like all these people still playing Spider-Man, or still playing God of War, or still playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Looking at it accounts like what all the streaming services with their subs, how many subs we have. Look how many subs, by boosting the numbers, by forcing Steam players to have to sign into a PSN account. Now they can say, look how many players we have, and use that as like a metric to say, hey, yeah, we're a good company. We're solid. We have this many subscribers to our network.
Yeah, because we got to think too. So the PS5 came out what year?
2019.
Yeah, 2020. It's already, and now only towards the middle of 2023 have they now been available to be purchased. And most people, the smart people, want the one with the disc and everything too. So I think yes, for the past 3 years they haven't been making any money off of them, because unless you bought a scalped one and were playing games and paying for that subscription service, or just kept paying your subscription for service for the PS4 like me.
Right. Now, I do have to say that I'll get on. I'll always check who's on. I'll see 20, 30 people on. Before it was all the 4 icon, the little 4-shaped console. Now, almost my entire list is all PS5 now. So
the only way it would change, I would change my mind on the whole thing if they allow toxicity on the whole online shit, right? If they said, hey, look, I understand we did this or whatever, but when you play our game, you can cuss other people out, cuss teammates out. There's no restrictions.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, I want it. That's an experience I've been looking back for my whole entire life again.
Yeah. I've never been censored in any of my game chats I play. So
now I can't even enter it depends on the game. If I enter the name Vagabond, it's like it's also a derogatory word or whatever. Yeah, so it won't even let me pick that name sometimes. Yeah, or it's like the word tramp. You can't say lady in the tramp anymore.
What?
No, I've seen some fucked up gamer names when I'm playing games that Sony doesn't stop.
Retarded.
There's some fucked up names in player.
Well, it's not just Sony. It's just because I use the name Vagabond or Vagabundo, and so if I play a game, I like using that name in the game.
Yeah,
and it'd be like, oh well, this word goes against our word policy or whatever.
Wow.
And but I miss the days of being called the N-word and Call of Duty and stuff. I camp and teammates getting mad at me.
Colonized.
And then I'm talking trash too while I'm winning. The whole lobby's going chaotic and shit.
While I'm winning is the clarifier here.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I'm good. I mean, I haven't played in a while.
I'm awesome. I can call people the N-word. It's fine.
like I'd be like if you see how I play Call of Duty, I'd be smurfing people, whatever the kids say today.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what even Helldivers is like that. Like when I'm doing when I'm playing on Saturdays on occasion with Dermy Wormy over on Discord and such, like Mr. Bug will come in there and team kill him while he's in the rocket to take off, or in the the escape ship. Like Mr. Bug will come in and kill him, and you just hear Dermy scream in the background, and I'm like, why? And I'm like, this is hilarious. It's funny. Like it's good to be able to screw around like that. I mean,
yeah. And you know, the thing too, why I'll say Call of Duty, Black Ops got the edge over Modern Warfare 2, like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, is because remember when you can make your logos and stuff, and you can make like anything you want. So you got people making nooses, like people doing swastikas. Like there was like no limits. You just made whatever you want. So you just go look at someone's profile and you just see some shit, and then then you get those stupid FaZe Clan people that always put the FaZe Clan shit. But other than that, like it was like free game. You had ultimate creativity and your profile. Like, and it didn't care about how many weapons in the game or whatever like that. And you just had fun, like playing the terminal and stuff, and just dying a million times while someone already summoned the helicopter or some shit, or like just fuck it.
See, that was like peak. That's when, excuse me, that's back in the era where like free speech and games peaked, and we'd already kind of. All right, Darnell. We'd already seen those peaks in places like movies and television, games, and but now they're coming. I mean, they're coming for gaming. They're coming to censor it. They're coming to neuter what made it so fun. And I'm, even the stupid, hate-filled, ridiculous shit it's like it's there for us to laugh at. Like these people are ridiculous, or they're just being ridiculous. But either way, it's the free speech part of the gaming, the online gaming environment is what made it so good. And when they homogenize it like they've done every other venue that people have to entertain, it's going to see the same kind of fall off. But I'm glad to see that. I think that because all of the other places have been lost, it seems like gaming and gaming online is at least the last bastion of places where people can enjoy it. And when this shit comes for gaming, the community responds very strongly in kind to it. Like you see all of these groups out there trying to homogenize it and censor it. I mean, it's been pretty ridiculous, and I'm glad to see that there's a lot of clapback coming from it. This week, I at LG Gilmer's behest, he told me to sign up for it. I signed up for and was inducted into Black Male Gamers.
What?
Oh, nice!
Officially part of the group.
Nice.
Wow. You're blacker than me.
You're also in the same tier as MSK, so
yeah, just about there. Him and I are at least equivalent now. But I was like, that's pretty like
black as he is.
Said that they were there for a positive male experience, and it wasn't just about being African American. That mean you had to join. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to join. I want to be a part of this. I want a game. Like, let's have a good time here. So, I was like, all right, I'll join up, and they let me in, and I'm like, cool. See, but black girl gamers definitely wouldn't let me in. Let me in. No,
they don't even let actual black girls in there. They drive out the black girls that they find. You ever heard of Gothics?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. Well, we can't talk about her.
Yeah, you have to have the right opinion for you to be in there.
And they figured out even before she went went conservative. She's like, I don't really know about this. Like, no, you're toxic persons. Like, but you're the one being the horrible evil binge. No.
Yeah. There's no better way to red pill somebody than to have a bunch of leftists basically disclude you because you're not part of their leftism. I mean, they should just call it leftist girl gamers and be done with it.
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of funny because like leftism and not to like derail the conversation, but you see this perfect. It was just absolutely perfect. I tweeted about this. Sadiq Khan was criticizing. He was the mayor of London, right? Who was he was criticizing his opponent, it was a white middle-aged woman, and he's like, here are all of these things. And he muted replies, by the way. You can't reply to this damn thing. So he had this whole tweet. He had like multiple tweets of just all these different things that were problematic about her, and didn't identify as a feminist. Like, not a black male, like a non-white male lecturing a woman about her her perceived lack of being a feminist is peak leftism, because that was the whole thing with there's the whole thing like with Black Girl Gamers and Sweet Baby Inc. They're criticizing, and they're criticizing people like Melee K and like Kat from Hijabi Gamer, and it's like their crime, they're being brown wrong. That's basically it. Like all these idiots are coming after him. It's like you're not being inclusive. No, they're not towing the line that you want them to tow, because the issue is never the issue. The issue is the control. The issue is whatever the hell they're trying to accomplish by doing this. Because this isn't just gaming. This didn't just, because I always want to ask myself, why now? Why is PlayStation deciding that they want to link everything together now? Well, because they want control. They want to control how, I don't know what the hell they want to control, but I do know that also comes at the heels of them finding out they're releasing that creepy as hell patent where they're able to read biosigns to determine toxicity in gaming or whatever. And the thing is, that technology doesn't exist yet. So how are they going to get that? Can they like read your pulse or something? Webcam? I don't know. But the fact that they have that patent, maybe it could be. But here's the thing: that technology doesn't exist now. So why the hell have they bought it? Why the hell have they bought that patent? Why the hell have they done this unless there's something else coming down the pike? I don't believe.
Just to play devil's advocate for that patent, though. Sony is not just video games, so so they also have other, like, not saying they won't use it in a video game sense, but they do have like other aspects of tech, like Sony, like we're talking about like when we're talking about Sony in the video game realm, they're a whole different department than the animation studios, than the movie production studios, than the appliance section and cell phones and stuff. You know,
yeah, exactly. Okay. The cameras.
So
see,
I was just gonna say. So I keep hearing leftism. It's actually tribalism. You're not part of that tribe, and we're seeing this. And it's not just the left; it's on the right as well. It's everywhere now, and this is the absolute problem with culture. Is with culture now. It's tribalistic. You are either on my side or you're not.
Example of this is Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens right now, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
so,
exactly.
Or what was it? He's suing
their sides.
Yeah, he's like suing. Instead of like debating Candace Owens, he's like suing her now or some bullshit or whatever.
Yeah. Silent.
Which he asked for the debate. She agreed to it. Now they're backing off. Like, what the fuck?
That's just the Daily Wire in general, I think.
Yeah,
but
I mean, they got hits and misses sometimes. Like I like that they got like the little kids shows and stuff they were trying to do with the cartoons and everything.
Those are bad.
Bluey ripoff.
To Ben
yeah,
Key.
and then the movie.
Funny.
What was it? Bent Key. Yeah, Bent Key. Their movie studio section. I like the whole chocolate idea. Where is it a he? It has nuts. If you want, it's a she. And then it has no nuts.
That's good.
Almond Joy.
Yeah, the raisin. I mean the razors or whatever. Jeremy's razors.
Yep.
It's just some like I like Matt Walsh's takes more often. But the one I disagreed with was his whole Pitbull thing right now, right?
Oh yeah, the dog.
Yeah, and so
comes out every other year.
Yeah, and the Pitbull thing for me is like it's the conservatives' version of the AR argument for the leftists, right, or whatever you want to call the left. Whereas like, well, so like of all the guns, they circle the AR, talk about how dangerous it is, and blah blah blah, and it does this much killings, and that's the choice of school shooters or whatever. That's the same argument that the right is making with the pit bulls, right over, right? And instead of blaming, sorry, I changed the subject. I didn't mean to, but I like pit bulls. That's why. So, and so, like, you know, most people who buy pit bulls are training them to be aggressive. When someone buys a golden retriever, golden retrievers can be just as aggressive as a pit bull.
Any dog can.
Yep.
Any dog can.
Yeah, any dog can. It's just the mentality of the owner, pretty much. And you should be holding the the owner accountable if anything bad happens to anyone else. Doesn't matter what the dog is. Same way, if it's not, we shouldn't be blaming the gun. We should be blaming whoever actually pulled the trigger, as opposed to whatever it could be, whatever firearm it is.
No, absolutely. I never agreed with him, and I don't engage with that comment of his anymore. Simply, I've had Rottweilers like when I was a child, and when all of my children were born, I had a Rottweiler. She helped protect and raise every single one of those fucking babies. She was in their room every night. She was there sitting at mom's feet while mom was breastfeeding. Like, she was always watching those babies. She knew what they were.
The most lovable dogs ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they were nanny dogs in Britain at one time. Like Nana from Peter Pan was a pit bull.
Yeah. Then the dogs I personally been bitten by has been a Doberman, Great Dane, and Chihuahuas.
Oh, Chihuahua.
So you're saying those are the racist breeds. Got it.
Maybe. And I've been bitten by German Shepherds as well too. So
yeah.
But it really comes down to it. It's the mentality of the owner of the dog and how the dog is raised and how the dog is trained. Because any dog can turn violent if it was not properly raised, or it's in an abusive home. It's going to lash out. Where you can have if a dog is trained properly, they're loving, they're caring, and they're protective of their pack, their family.
Yeah, and like, if you've dealt with pit bulls, they're just pure muscle. So, I had, but once I was watching with like, it didn't matter what type of vest and shit I would buy, that shit would break, and dog would have the zoomies running around. But it wasn't a vicious dog. It would just have the zoomies running around. I could still call it to me or whatever. It was just finding the right leash, and collar. But you got, so say if that same pit bull is trained by someone that is an aggressive human being, they bought the dog to be aggressive, and let's be real, people, they either want them for the rap because they've seen a rap video, or they're having the dog sit out in the front yard all day so it could scare people from going to their yard or whatever, right? Like I said, pit bulls are so strong, they can easily break out without even trying, like different leashes and stuff. You need a real heavy duty like chain leash to hold these dogs, and one dog would break out, and that's the one that attacks. But still, that's the owner should have been more responsible of finding that out. That's not the dog's fault.
Well, and some dog owners, some just animal owners in general, are either they're getting them just to get them and have them as a status symbol, and so they're not, the dogs are not taken care of properly. And the same with any animal they may have. Could be an alpaca, it doesn't matter. It's the fact is that if you're going to be a guardian of an animal, you have to be that guardian. You have to raise it properly, and you have to care for it and see to its needs as well. And understand they are part of your family, and especially with dogs being a pack animal, they're going to see the family as that protective need for the pack. And if the leader of the pack, the alpha, which is usually the owner, if trained properly, they're going to react to other people how the owner reacts. If the owner is a violent person that reacts and yells at people and stuff like that, the animal's going to think that's how I need to respond to be part of this pack.
Yeah, and the other thing too, a lot of people, and this is just animals in general, a lot of people got impulsive buys for, like, we know this for kids movies, right? When Finding Nemo came out, how many people went to go look for clownfish or the fish that Dory was, right? And then
101 Dalmatians.
And same thing. Like, okay, well, I didn't know I needed a saltwater tank. I thought I could just put any water in here. And then, you got people who just don't know.
They just takes place in the fucking ocean. What do you want?
Exactly. Well, they don't think all the time.
So they've never seen an ocean. So there's saltwater.
All right. Before we get into how creepy we get further down the creepy Sony rabbit hole, we didn't start off by saying hi to the chat. So let's say hi to the chat real quick here. Let's see, we got Iron Oxide in here from his deathbed. I'm sure
go to bed.
Get some rest. Go to sleep. Got Vagabond, who's also here on the panel already.
You're also here. Oh my god.
Right.
R2 looking for some boobs.
Aren't we all, buddy?
Got Joker here saying welcome and reminding everybody, please smash that like button. Hit it as hard as you can. Just don't break your computer monitor.
We're talking actual Joker's voice, not cringe fake Luke Skywalker shilling for the Empire.
Yeah, we're not talking about that guy. He's not the Joker. Joker's voice is more of a Joker to me than that guy anymore. Mm-hmm. We got Selena here. Hail everybody. It is a happy Friday. Absolutely. We've got Emerald Arrow here, who's pretty sober sounding right now for a drunken, saying good evening to all. Moxie Dame.
Moxie,
our 32-year-old friend over there, soon to be celebrating a birthday. Hail, Moxie. Good evening. We've got Luke Ballinger saying hail. Hail to you as well, my man.
There must be some weather moving in. Everyone's saying there's hail coming.
That guy's a dick.
I know, right? So much hail going on around here. All right. Who do we else we got in chat here? We got Tony Robinson. What's goody? And we got MSK, who ditched us to go talk to the Mexican Iron Man.
Yes.
Yep. Got WSC, Wissy. Hope you feel better soon, Iron. I hope so as well. We've got Red Strider also saying there's hail. I mean, he is in Texas. There could be.
There was a nasty storm yesterday that knocked out my power for a little while. So sure.
Things to look forward to when I get to Texas. Actual weather. Here it's just hot and not hot.
Oh, we got a cicada invasion right now.
Where in Texas you going to?
Hopefully north of Houston.
Okay.
That's my general aim.
Yeah.
There seems to be good people there. I keep finding too. So, Beard of Liberty.
Only about
gotta hit me up. I know everywhere to go by there.
What's up, Beard?
Take a nap, JV.
Yeah, you guys were talking gaming. And I'm just.
Yep. Nope. Time to take a nap on that one. Let's see. We got Frank Yakley. EV is bored. Yakley. Cool. Yep. The Devil has shown up. Good evening, Devil. What, you guys aren't excited about AAA games finding 12 different ways to charge you more money, like game passes and loot boxes, but I know he meant loot boxes. In all honesty, it's both, dude. And then we got Static. He's saying hey to the Devil and hey to Selena and myself. Good evening, Static. Thanks for stopping by, my man. We got Shaka Zulu. Hail the chat. Yes, hail the chat. Always hail the chat. Also coming in with a pit bulls are sweethearts, man, but they need proper owners. Yeah, dude, you got to be people. You got to understand how to raise a big dog. They're not like little dogs. They're not even like these corgis I got wandering around licking my feet right now. They're very different, man. A very different animal to raise altogether. Then over on
even to where I'm at, you got people who buy miniature pigs because there's miniature in the name.
Mm-hmm.
We did that. When you see a full size one, they're not really that miniature.
Well, and on top of that, it also comes down to not knowing the proper breed. So you have some people, especially like cities, that are buying these big dogs and keeping them housed up in an apartment.
Right.
That's not the proper environment. They need to be able to be out in the environment, be able to out and to run free and exercise.
Mm-hmm. You know what the craziest thing I've seen with that is? People in Phoenix, Arizona who own fucking huskies and live in an apartment. I'm like,
Vegas.
Oh God,
Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've seen in Houston too. Yeah,
nuts.
I mean, I had a chance to get this very bright blue-eyed husky, but and I could have gotten him. But the problem is my living situation where I live and stuff like that. It's like that is not the proper environment for a dog. As much as I would have loved to have had that husky, it is not the right environment that I live in to have that dog.
Yeah, like cows where like they're from like snow areas. You have to keep the fur down. You have to keep shaving the fur because they get a lot of skin conditions and stuff like that.
And I would never own a husky because most of my furniture is black, so I just don't want.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to see how many black T-shirts I have to buy because got too much fur on.
And you have like umpteen cats too, so it doesn't get any better than that.
You got Hooligan here saying bacon bits, and then over on Rumble, Phil's Shocker, Katie's dog for a 50. Wait, hold up. Put it back a little bit. Bro,
careful.
Says, woof. All right.
Yeah,
And then he also
keep
says,
Katie away from red rockets.
No.
bro, Phil Shocker, Katie's dog, also says, "Yep, don't get me started on Matt." All right. All right. So on to this next thing that Red Strider brought up, and I wanted to pull up this article on it here about Sony's patents system to detect emotions and moderate gameplay based on voice inputs. But it wasn't even just voice inputs. It's I think it's even biometric stuff here, but let's check a look here. So Sony is no longer a stranger to patenting different features, even if their release seems unlikely. Just recently, it filed a patent for a controller that could mimic temperature changes, another for NFTs in different games. I thought NFTs were dead.
Yeah,
and then and much more. Another patent discovered by Gamesuel looks to go even further beyond, focusing on detecting emotions and moderating gameplay based on voice inputs. So basically, if you like shout like "fuck" after you get killed or something, like is it gonna like nuke you? Like what's gonna happen with this? Like,
You know,
don't know,
okay,
man.
as someone who's into making games and worked at a studio and stuff, honestly, I know most people are gonna like or hate on it, but it sounds cool to me at the same time, especially in the VR realm, right? I can imagine having a horror game where like someone's walking through a corridor and maybe me as a developer, if like there's a change in your body temperature or movement to where I could tell you're scared, and I could tell the game to record whatever comes out of your whatever sounds and stuff you come out of, and then I have like a YouTube channel tied to the game where it's like all the reels of people getting scared or something.
That's
like that.
fucking cool.
Like that, like as like someone who's worked on a horror game, like that's what comes to my mind. If like, oh man, if they did that with like the PlayStation VR or some shit like that. But yeah,
okay, yeah, that could be that could be cool. Like you've got an instant reactions channel that's tied to it. I mean, I've seen them do some integrations with things like Twitter before and things like that, but I've never really seen Sony like trying to integrate stuff really well. I know that for a little bit, Microsoft with the Kinect and when they were running, God, I can't remember what their game streaming service was they had for a minute. I don't remember what it was called, but I know that they tried to have some features like that worked with each other, but I've never really seen Sony integrate outside of themselves very well. That's my other problem with worrying about linking to that.
A lot of these companies, even Nintendo's guilty of this too. They do patent a lot of stuff that you never see as the light of day. So, like, okay, even Steam right now, right? If you got the Steam Valve Index, there's a port at the front of the visor that there's nothing been developed for, and basically it's open source. And they said if whoever decides they want to make whatever, do whatever to plug in right there. No one's taking the opportunity to make something for that. So it's a lot of these game companies, and what they're also trying to do too is like they're trying to make sure if another company wants to use their technology, they're going to be like the troll, what's that called, the patent troll, right?
Yep.
And so it's like, okay, maybe Nintendo all of a sudden decides, oh, you know what, we're making for the new Switch, we got the Switch can actually be a head visor to make like your own version of VR for the Switch 2 or some shit, right? And maybe it has like an emotion sensor. So they try to make an emotion sensor for one of their games or some shit, right? And then all of a sudden they found out Sony has a patent. So now they have to go to Sony and be like, well, hey, we really want to use this for this system. How much you're charging us to use this patent? Right. Or some bullshit.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Hooligans cracking me up. Lawsuits incoming from Tourette sufferers who get banned.
Right?
Exactly.
It's like that one bartender from Boondock saying, "Fuck us."
I think what Vagabond's idea there would be the ideal world, but it's like the article saying here is the idea is to store a player's emotional profile. Like that's the last fucking thing I want a tech company being able to report on me, dude.
Especially with the rise of AI.
The rise of AI, the rise of social credit scores. No, fuck that.
Well,
yeah, and I'm only really just playing devil's advocate as someone that's like on the other side.
Yeah, you're completely correct to do so. There are some
idea.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea.
Terrible. What you're
Based
saying,
on
like,
based on your emotional profile, we feel that you probably should not watch this next episode of South Park.
exactly.
Yeah.
Based on your social credit score that we have correlated with your emotional profile, we're actually only going to let you watch episodes of Peppa Pig.
Listen, I have
Based
one
on your
credit score that's
emotional
low. I don't need a
profile
second.
and your social score, we feel that you need less red meat in your diet. So you are no longer, with our digital currency, allowed to buy anything with red meat.
Or worse yet,
Exactly.
you have uttered this word too many times. Your access to your entire game library is restricted until you take this diversity training or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like this stuff.
Really-
Here's the thing. My rule of reality is if you've thought of it, someone's thought of something worse. And if someone's thought of something worse, someone's done something about it. And if someone's done something about it, someone's done something worse. That's like my rule of life. It's like an extended Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will happen. And the thing is, we've seen these like ridiculous babysitting behaviors by big companies like Microsoft and Sony. And hell, every big company on the planet is trying to come into your home and tell you how to use their product. Does anybody think that they won't weaponize this? Absolutely not.
Here's how I envision them weaponizing it: is selling the so recording the data of like your emotions, right? I could see them as, what if you play a new PlayStation game, but now all your ads is like, okay, we could tell this person has anxiety, just whatever game they play. So maybe now when next time you go on Amazon, you see like anxiety pills, you see like I don't know, little
you mean
spinner shits or whatever. Yeah.
So you mean when you're walking through the grocery store and all of a sudden in your social media feed you see ads for the aisle that you were just walking down.
Or like because like I think because at the same time we got to figure out what ways are they trying to make money off of this, right? And the idea would be is if they're storing data, it's to sell it. I don't care what it is. It's if they're storing data, it's to sell it to somebody else. So that's where ads come in, where maybe like now you like Netflix, what was it? The smaller tier now have ads in it or whatever. Crunchyroll. That so the next thing is like, okay, how can I get ads in here? And maybe something that's if you're watching a video on YouTube on your PlayStation and you have certain emotions of some product you saw some YouTuber shilling or whatever, right? And then like maybe you saw the whatever YouTuber's coffee. So now all of a sudden you it records your emotion of you getting satisfied for this coffee product. And like and then all of a sudden you're getting ads for coffee all over the place and gamer energy drinks and shit.
I don't even drink coffee.
You need more Prime.
I just went in a different direction with that. What if you play in a game, you call someone alphabet soup slur? Next thing you know, all your ads on your phone are those type of sites.
Donate money to BLM.
Sausages are delicious. What are you talking about? I love Those are my favorite sausages, Darnell. I make biscuits and gravy with those.
Or like you go
advertising cigarettes. Wait, but don't do that anymore.
Like right now, when I go on Facebook, all I get is ads and stuff for like the most pro-black Afro-futurism bullshit, right? So like I'll scroll down and I'm like, I even click, I'm not interested all the time. So it's like,
still comes up.
Yeah, the first black Chinese, the first black Japanese, the black Vikings.
Wow.
And it's like, and I no matter, I'll even like, and like, there's nothing I can do. I can always hit not interested, report ad or whatever. And that's all I get in my feed and shit. So it's like, I don't have a necessary need to use Facebook. There's like a few people I talk to and that's it. But like I go down there and it's like, it's nothing. It's like, I think Facebook scans your photos and then they're like, oh, well, this is obviously a black person. And he has dreadlocks. He might be into this Afrofuturism bullshit. And that's all I
on you. I was in blackface.
It's okay. So because the not interested is the same as a YouTube dislike. It's still engagement.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I could see it mainly. It's like like I think if they were storing data, it's to sell ads to or sell ad space to another company. And this is our player base that plays these type of games or buy these type of games, and these are their emotions for these type of games. So maybe you play a bunch of war games and shit like that, right? Or you play action adventure games and a bunch of war games and shit. So maybe all of a sudden, they know that's how you get highly excited when you play those games versus the next Tomb Raider or some bullshit, right? And so now you're getting like military recruitment ads when you like go somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is still all they're extrapolating stuff that you are not giving them.
Right.
They're not asking for your input. They're taking your input from you and using it without, because all they have to do is say, "Are you interested in this? Are you interested in this?" It just seems so invasive.
It's not only invasive.
Tony Robbins is
because
we can see that. I mean, we can see this right now that clearly Savage has been looking at Panera. He's thinking about traveling, and so you're seeing ads for
exactly they're right there.
And yeah, it's just looking at that, and that's because of this targeted based on cookies on your system, based on your search histories and stuff like that. That all that stuff is what the ads are coming up on.
This is what's weird about it too, is that like it's so imprecise, and this is what it is. I find it is that for the most part it's annoying because what it is that they scrape data from maybe something you may have clicked on or something that's associated with something you went to once, and it's just a shotgun effect. So you're just inundated with crap constantly all the time. Frankly, I liked advertising. This is why I don't mind like watching like Tubi. I don't mind TV ads anymore. Frankly, the internet has desensitized me to just being flooded with shitty, pointless, useless ads all the time. Like I never eat at Panera, but on the TV,
their teas are delicious though.
Commercial break was done, huh?
Their teas are delicious though.
I haven't had their teas. I just never.
They had like a mango carrot and fruit juice one that was amazing.
Yeah, that shit's fucking delicious.
They don't have it anymore.
Oh, for real?
Disappointing. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
That was so much sugar in there, but it was delicious.
I know it was delicious. I love their was like pineapple papaya lemonade or something. But now what they're doing is they have all their like caffeinated lemonades, which are good. But it's like I miss the carrot stuff. I miss having the illusion of thinking that I'm drinking healthy stuff.
Yep. Mildly.
I know it's an illusion. I just don't care. I just like shit. Give me the sugar. Give me the.
I give them a lot of credit because they give away their food at the end of the night. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anybody who does that, donates their bread and things like that, I think is really good thing to be doing.
Starbucks does that. I worked there for a while. We did that.
But here's what they could also do too. Say you could have been a gamer and say they have the technology now and you just played Stellar Blade for your first time, right? And you got really excited playing Stellar Blade. So now
excited.
Yeah. Then on the PlayStation Network, they don't show you any other games.
Yep.
How dare you?
We've noticed that only one hand is on the controller.
Yes. How are you playing? Just a little prompt on the screen that pauses the game. It's like,
stop jerking off, please.
That happens. You notice that when your camera light goes on over your PC.
Exactly.
Your camera light goes on. You see your microphone light turn on. Like, what the fuck?
Okay,
a big shadowy hand comes up and just covers her up on the screen.
Okay, so say what happens, right?
Like, you filthy man.
You go to the online PlayStation store, right? And all the games they showcase to you are all the waifu Japanese ecchi games that I would probably be playing. And so I ain't gonna lie, I play the Segura Kagura games like Peach Beach Splash and shit. And it's just finding friends to play with is hard. So
dude,
why would you want to play with friends?
This is the thing you see happening with this too. It's like you're gonna get this warning. It's gonna pop up and be like, avert your filthy male gaze, or we're gonna delete your digital copy of Stellar Blade.
But it's like, okay, it's like my Instagram, right? If someone adds me on like they ask, oh, can I add your Instagram? I have to hurry up and go to my profile before they see whatever pops up on my wall from shit I like. That's how bad it is.
Or it goes in the other direction. It sees and says, "I saw you. We noticed you enjoyed that last scene. Would you like to make it more spicy for $10?"
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
that's
Maybe.
weird.
Would
It's
you?
the OnlyFans model.
Dude, there's the money that Sony's missing out on right there. It's like, guys,
Right?
you know, you just offer to like, hey, for $10 you can download this this DLC that removes all of Eve's clothes and she just plays naked.
I would
If
appreciate
if gamers
Sony
were
if they did that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
just saying.
Right?
If,
Yes.
That would be
if
based
Sony,
on
like,
If anybody did that, I'd be like, thank you, because like
Yeah.
modern culture, thanks to these idiotic nanny staters, everything's become so sanitized. Everything I miss tits and ass in movies, not because I'm titillated by them, because I want to know that somebody. I am because I'm male. Come on, but you know what I'm saying.
At least you're
I
honest.
don't go to a movie to see like tits and ass. Usually, it depends on the movie, but
depends
the
on if
fact
Sydney
that-
Sweeney's in it.
yes, especially if Sydney Sweeney's in it, but or Anna Darmas. That's what that'll get.
Oh God, the two of them together.
Well, they are making a movie together.
I know.
Okay.
Anyway, back to my
Would you-
point.
Okay,
I
no.
don't
Would
even
you
remember
Don't
guys-
come back.
what I was saying.
if you're going to a movie theater starring Sydney Sweeney and the movie theater is like, okay, you can watch the movie regularly, or you can pay an extra $10 to get these specialized glasses that you could see her completely nude in the rest of the movie.
Do you
Like-
have any
oh,
idea
yeah.
how much money that would make? Disney's first box office billion in 5 years.
I know,
Finding
right?
Dory 3.
Oh, that's what
Put the
we do.
glasses on, you see the voice actors naked.
Ew, I don't want to see.
Oh, not the voice actors. God.
No, better yet,
No.
they hold it above your head,
No.
saying it's like you will pay this to put on these glasses to keep your clothes on.
Yes. Oh no.
But what I was saying, like some of the
Well-
movies and the TV shows we watch now, there's none of that edge. Nothing's edgy anymore. I was watching Animal House the other
Yeah.
day. Like they don't make movies like this anymore. I was watching
You
Ryan
can't.
Reynolds is Waiting. They don't make movies like this anymore because they can't, because idiot nanny state studios dictate that they be as sanitized as humanly possible, be as inoffensive as humanly possible. When's the
Even-
last time we had a good raunchy comedy in theaters? It's been
Even
it's
though
been
Waiting is
years.
100% accurate for Waiting.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
100%.
and that's not even the
Waiting
most
is
edgy comedy
such a
of the era
great
that I've
movie.
watched. Like, when's the
Oh,
last?
no.
and I saw actually was something that kind of shocked me. I did a video on this a number of years ago. But the latest American Pie movie, which released right to streaming, it was like DEI made an American Pie movie.
What?
Yeah, it featured like
Ugh.
two women of
Ugh.
color, no nudity in the whole damn thing.
That's
And I
not
looked
American.
at, it's not American Pie. I looked it up on IMDb and I was like, I wonder, because I was just like curious, what are the American Pie movies? Because no, there's all the ones that have the main cast, but there's also a bunch of spinoffs. I was just curious. I was bored at work. I'm like, oh wait, they made one in 2019. Interesting. So I looked at my IMDb. I wonder, because considering the time it was made, post Me Too, nothing is raunchy anymore. And like, there's no nudity in the whole thing. I'm like, what the hell? This isn't American Pie.
Yeah. Why
Is it-
even
but-
make the movie? What a waste of time.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, there's nothing's edgy anymore. There's no.
Nope.
Yeah, there's no creative
They're
vision
remaking
attached to
movies
it.
just to remove the.
That's usually for manga and
edge.
anime for me. Like
Hmm.
the last movies I've seen in theater was Dune 2, and then I had to watch Dune 1 the same day in the morning or whatever. But other than that, I don't really go to the movie theaters at all.
Yeah, me neither.
About
That'd be
the
the
only
last
thing
one
I'm
I-
going to be going to the theater to see actually is because of the reviews afterward is going to be the Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah,
That's about the
Yeah.
only thing I'm looking for, even considering to go to the theater to see.
I've got.
I'm seeing Phantom Menace tomorrow for the 25th anniversary, but that's about it.
Fuck that. I am not going to give the house some mouse money.
This
I
Alamo
will
Draft
for
House
that
is the only
movie.
way I justified
For
it.
that movie, I will to
Okay.
show them this is what I fucking want. This is what we fucking
Yeah.
want.
I actually am looking forward to the Planet of the Apes films because I've enjoyed the rest of them. So I'm like, okay,
I haven't
I'll
seen the first.
keep going.
They have it's weird. The Planet of the Apes films are very much like the Mission Impossible movies because every Mission Impossible comes up as like, I forgot this was coming out, and you watch it like this is great, and then it's like okay, then you move on. But it always does well. But then the Planet of the Apes movies have been pretty much the same thing, where they've all done well. They come out of nowhere, everyone likes it, people watch it, it does well, and it gets really good reviews. But then people forget about it until the next one. It's kind of interesting.
The last one I saw was Mark Wahlberg. That the very first one when they went to start rebooting them.
Oh God!
I saw the first one with Andy Serkis as Caesar, and I didn't see any.
Oh yeah, good one.
That was good. I liked it.
Vagabond,
man-
do you know who this Lace Will is?
That's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I was like, dang, she's coming in here. She coming here hot. Coming after Vagabond.
Feminism, me too. Put no nudity in American Pie movie.
I know, right? Thanks for stopping by, Lace. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know what Vagabond did, but maybe he's in trouble. I don't know.
Be a knock at the door later.
I know, right? What the hell are you doing? So let's see here. What do I want to see? I want to look at some more of this thing here. What do they have to say in the rest of this particular thing here? Yeah, the emotional profile, which includes some rules that will take action depending on one or more emotional states, and they say it will solve the problem of negative emotions affecting a player's mental health. Will this get rid of people who are like
Good luck with that.
Yeah, could you be like, okay, hey, this person is actually super offended by the fact that they just saw a white man on screen, or maybe a guy kissing a girl, and they're really offended. Could you kick them out of the game? I'd love it if they didn't watch the rest of it.
Like if it did that would be awesome. But or they just put them in a lobby all by themselves to where like they can complain, and then like everyone else, it was like, okay, now we can really just have fun and go all out without worrying about anyone crying.
Or that server, nothing will ever populate. You'll just sit there waiting for a party.
Or what could also happen too is, you know how some games now is like if you lose too much, then it'll pause the screen before you restart and be like, oh, do you want to lower the difficulty? It'll probably do something for them or something like that. Or what was the other company? It was like, oh, they'll play the game for you without you playing.
Oh God. That sounds
wasn't that another?
I thought it was Sony.
Something else that Sony patented that? Yeah, that was actually a month ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
something like that.
So basically, it would be like you're not even playing the game; it's just the AI is playing.
I mean,
for you.
To be fair though,
on Twitter, like game journalist mode.
To be fair though, if you watch Twitch, it's the same fucking thing. I mean, I get
Would
it.
you
but
rather watch
time,
a person playing or like some AI bot that you can't even talk to?
I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying in general, it's the same thing. I mean,
in a way, because a person can fail and succeed. An AI will just beat it for you.
The AI, but you don't know how adept it will be at the game. It may suck at it.
Honestly,
well, then why even have it play for you?
A game,
that's
you
why
know,
I
like
think
a
it's
game
really
journalist, like a game journalist who got an early copy, right? And instead of looking like that one ass hat who couldn't play through the Cuphead intro, or the or what was it? The other one, the guy couldn't double jump.
Doom with the double, that was great.
Yeah. So it's like maybe those guys will be like, okay, you can like they'll play the whole game through you or whatever. I would only do that if they don't get to see the true ending of the game. That's the only way I would accept that as a actual gamer.
Okay.
Is like, hey, if you plan on easy mode, you don't get the true ending.
Yeah.
Or you don't get the true anything.
You don't get a good ending. You don't get an ending at all.
Yeah. What was the game that where if you put it on easy, it puts you in a bib with a pacifier and everything?
Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain did. Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain did that. Where you're wearing a chicken head. It's pretty great.
Oh, there you go.
It's like everyone's making fun of you for putting.
Was it Wolfenstein 2? Also, one of the Wolfenstein games too. Yeah. Basically, it was like that's how fun they would be. It was like, okay, you don't get to see the end. You don't get to see the true ending. You don't get the special abilities if you beat the game on hard or difficulty or something like that. Because playing a game on hard and winning, it was like that's your bragging rights. Like when you beat Halo on Legendary, and then you're like one of the only people who got the Legendary badge on your profile.
Well, that's toxic. We can't have Legendary badges anymore because it'll affect other players and make them feel bad about themselves not being able to achieve that. So you want to know what? Out of fairness, we're going to give participation badges to everyone.
Yes. I give you my address.
Well, it's funny, Darnell. We were talking on Twitter a couple days ago. Oh, sorry. I was interrupting somebody.
Oh, no. I was going to say one interesting thing that they could do with this is what would be maybe a sane middle ground is if they basically took some of this information and they separated players who could like play without being whiny bitches and players who are constantly being whiny bitches and just separate by that. Like, here, you're going to go over, you're going to be in these lobbies, and you're going to be in these lobbies. Ne'er in twain shall you meet. I think that makes a better gaming experience for everybody. And that's not even a devil's advocate thing. That's just me being like an ideologue here. Joker, what you got to say?
Well, my question is this. Who determines what is a negative behavior? And because that could change from scene to scene.
Yep.
I mean, again, I'm not a gamer ever by any chance, but from what I've heard, the GTA games are very the violence,
Yep.
The Me Too crowd would definitely not like those games. Well, if you have a positive reaction to that could be considered a toxic behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the reins
all
of
your
human
time
emotions.
just getting the prostitutes and then beating them up afterward. Yeah, we're not gonna let you play the game anymore because clearly you have a predilection towards violence towards women. So we're going to remove this game from your library and we're going to suspend your account for X amount of months.
Report you to the FBI.
I mean, I disagree I disagree. That's how it would work. Because like they still need to make money, and if they straight up did that, they would. So how many of us would just be like, okay, I'm 100% PC now, or whatever.
Vagabond, on that same note, we said the same shit about the movie industry, and look what they did. They cut their own fucking legs off, and then now they're like, oh shit, we did exactly what this gaming thing what they mentioned could possibly do. They didn't think that far ahead. They thought, yes, this is smart, and they're gonna cut their legs out, and they can be fucked.
I mean, we can always count on big corporations to do the stupidest possible fucking thing they can possibly do. And again, like, just look at Disney. Does anybody care about Star Wars anymore? Not a damn one of us.
How in the hell are they still operating as a company? I don't get it.
The parks are probably keeping them up, but like, how many?
Not even the parks. Parks attendance is down.
Yes,
good. God,
they are
damn good.
Like I said the other night, a buddy of mine's looking to go with his wife and 3 kids to Disney this year. 5 days. $3,500 for tickets for that week. The same price. Just the same price. Universal 5-year passes. 5 1-year passes. Same price.
Here's what my argument against that is that we know PlayStation sell at a loss. Sony makes their money by you being on their ecosystem completely. Right. So when you pay your monthly fees and then or you get that monthly Game Pass where you're getting all these different games or whatever, right? And then so they have to keep you on there. I think it's one of two things. It's going to, like, the ads for what games get sold to you or advertised to be sold to you is going to be okay, he gets enjoyment out of games like Stellar Blade, this and this. He has a high emotions for that. We're going to give him all the waifu games and maybe games that are similar to that. This other person, they played Grand Theft Auto, but we can't offer them like Saints Row or nothing because they had a negative view of everything that they had. So we're going to suggest some other games for them to try.
I hope that's all it is.
Yeah, if they're smart, that would be it. Or I would hope if they would incorporate it with like the PlayStation VR and had type of like mechanic that you could employ in certain games. But other than that, like I don't see them. And plus, too, they're also, even though they've moved a lot of things to Sony of America, they're still a Japanese company as well, too.
Yeah.
Not saying the Japanese are perfect, but that's what I kind of think. Like, even when I went to school for games, most of my teachers and stuff worked at Sony because a lot of the studios are in Southern California. And like in between San Diego and LA for Sony Interactive Entertainment. And so we have classes on like on how to extract money out of your customers.
Wow.
And I've taken a class, I won't say who my teacher's names or stuff was, but like, so you like the free to play games, the whole targets of those is it's also like a psychology class because you're studying how people think and how people spend their money. And that's, to me, that's why my perspective is a little bit different than everyone else's. Is like, how can they're trying to squeeze the lemon as much as possible out of mainly whales when it comes to free to play games, and they got like different strategies that they employ that depending on what type of game and style it is and your player demographic determines on like how much money you could be making.
It's what's the old adage: if the product is free, you are the product.
You are the product. Yep.
Yeah, but I honestly I don't mind that as much as other people, because it's like okay, if a lot of games that are like you're still paying to play, or like it's free to play, but the developer's still making money to keep developing that game, that if it's a really good game, that could extend the life of the game for the developer to keep adding stuff and working on it, right? And that's for like RPG games and stuff like that.
Well, even the free to play. I mean, you look at Fortnite. How long has Fortnite been around? It's a free to play game.
5 years.
You got to buy. You got to buy, but you have plenty of stuff to buy in it, and it keeps it going.
I've literally paid probably $18 to that game. You can earn the money in game, and I haven't paid a penny in a few years because of that.
But a much more sinister example of this is Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah,
because because pretty much every mobile game that's free, it's free until you reach a certain level, and then you either have to grind to absurd levels, or you can pay to just skip ahead, just it's just $1 here, until all of a sudden you're paying like $200.
The only reason the only types of games I mainly disagree with that model. There's like games that always should be in like a one-time purchase, like Call of Duty.
Sure.
Like we all played it before there was all these downloads and stuff like that. And like I don't need a million different levels in each game or whatever. All they had to do is just like do an anniversary collection of Black Ops 1 and 2 and Modern Warfare 1 and 2, where you could play the original levels, play the original lobbies, have all the things from the original games, no extra purchases, and you can play online as much as you want. And there you go.
Yeah. No, those would have been a lot better. I stopped playing a lot of mobile games. Most mobile games, I don't think I play any really anymore because of this persistent model. All the ones that were interesting just ended up being like, oh, you get to this point and you basically can't play it anymore unless you're going to dump money into it. And I didn't really care for that much at all. But so
I mean, I played one called Ebony, the Tale of Two Kings.
I played that one already.
That one. Yeah, and like originally I thought it was one of those cheesy puzzle games, and I was like, okay, this will give me some of the waste time to do, and you learn that that's not what it is. So, but the game's fun enough. The developers are constantly sending updates, telling you to do this. I have bought stuff in game, but other than that, I haven't bought anything in the game for like years, and I'm still like logging in, playing, talking to my clan and stuff like that.
Yep. So, furthering down the rabbit hole of sketchy shit that Sony might be getting up to, looks like they're going to buy Paramount for $26 billion cash, all of Paramount Global. So that's like everything. Like with what we've been seeing going on with like Helldivers and their creepy information pillaging, this makes me uncomfortable. This is a lot of IP, like a lot. And what's even more wild is like, I think how much did Disney pay for Fox? I think they paid
$77 billion.
They paid 77. Wow. Okay, so they did pay more for Fox, but they paid like a lot less for Star Wars and Marvel, I believe too.
They paid $4.05 billion each.
Yep. So, but $26 billion. What's even more impressive? This is just cash. They're just like, hey, here it is on the table. Like, this is, I don't know how I feel about this with Sony. Like, I don't think Paramount's been great. I mean, what they've done with Star Wars has been
Star Trek. You mean
garbage?
Star Trek.
Sorry, same thing, right?
No.
Yeah, we're gonna battle later over that comment.
I'm totally.
No. Okay, so there's only 3 companies that are in the entertainment sphere that could do this. What's up, Tim? And that would be Sony, Apple, and Amazon. Those are the only three that have enough of this FU cash that they can buy this stuff.
Yep.
So Amazon has MGM, Sony grabbing Paramount. I am not surprised. We saw this coming and we knew that contraction was coming. We knew it with the strike and whatnot, the writer's strike, the exposing of the DEI, the actual numbers showing up that the number one streaming service is not Netflix, even though they are as far as the big streamers go, it's YouTube is the big streamer. Folks are moving away from mainstream entertainment. So the budgets have been cut because we had the summer of the flopbuster last year, and we knew this was coming. So this is not shocking to me, and I'm actually I think for 26 billion, okay, maybe you overpaid a little bit.
Well, they also bought Funimation and Crunchyroll, and then just got rid of. And so now they're merging everything from Funimation into Crunchyroll. Ecosystem.
That's done now too.
And it may blow up the idea of people thinking that maybe Apple would buy it or Amazon come in and buy it.
That's what makes me happy. Is that was actually I was more afraid of Amazon or Apple owning this than I probably am of Sony. Apple would have been a disaster. Apple is far more woke than even Amazon, far more woke than even Disney.
Now, hold, let me ask this. Paramount, what TV network do they have? Do they have CBS?
CBS.
Okay, well, this is what Sony just bought. They bought half of the NFL.
Yep, absolutely. That's what they really were.
And revenue, right there.
Yep,
and revenue.
You're absolutely right, dude.
See, that's why I think this ties into the emotion thing too, right? If we're all talking about ads, they scan your emotions for certain things and sell you ads based on your emotions.
Yep.
Wow.
No, I definitely think that's going to be a big part of it.
Man.
I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. The ad revenue with
for live sports
Sony
is
picking up Paramount. That's exactly it. Yep. With buying up Paramount, they get CBS and the NFL, and then Super Bowls every 2 years or so they hold. They hold. Yep.
Yeah.
So
do you think that Sony would do like their own streaming service since they're going this route?
Well, they
have
used to.
one.
They used to.
It's called Crackle. They own Crackle anyway.
They used to have
Crackle.
Actually, no. Okay, and here's why. Because Sony, since they do not have a proprietary streaming service. I mean, they kind of do now with
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus, but they make a shit ton of money by licensing out to Netflix, Prime, they will to Peacock. They make a shit ton of cash doing
this. This might also lead to them, in all honesty, dissolving Paramount Plus. I mean, maybe they keep it, maybe they don't, but they might dissolve it and they'll just license all this stuff. They'll make it.
Yellowstone going to go.
This is what
you're right, because I'm looking at the studio, like the list of their studio critically acclaimed films: Titanic, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Braveheart, Ghost, Truman Show, Mean Girls, which everybody still quotes, Rocket Man, Ferris Bueller, Benjamin Button, World War Z, Coming to America, Forrest Gump is a big one, Wolf of Wall Street, Quiet Place, Godfather. These are all the Mission Impossible films. That is
Look
a huge list already. They could license out.
I'm gonna age myself for a minute. Is Sunset Boulevard on there too?
Sunset Boulevard is on there. Yeah.
Dude, not just that though. If you look at they own. They've got the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Those are really big with children. They've got Shrek. They've got Paw Patrol now. I mean, this is
Kung Fu
another thing
Panda.
they bought is a bevy of
Yeah.
children's content.
You got Nickelodeon, right?
Movies.
So how? So
They own
okay. So
TMNT.
okay. So instead of hoarding these for yourself, how much would Netflix pay for like a 10-month run of Braveheart or Ninja Turtles? I mean, that's big money.
Interstellar's on here too.
Here's the other.
How much would they pay to be able to license to make new Ninja Turtles cartoons? How much would they pay to be able to license making a Shrek cartoon, a new Shrek movie?
Right, because they could license those rights out to other studios to make the content for them.
Yeah.
So they're getting the licensing fee. Another studio's making the content, and with that, then they get part of that streaming, or if they put it on over-air network, they're getting revenue from that as well.
Here's what they also do too, because Sony's big on making movie games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
Dude, I mean, a video game based off of Interstellar would be fun.
I want
this
right.
Or like a Top Gun, PS4, PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah,
people can actually land the plane.
A Stellar Blade live action.
So now I'm actually looking at the 26 billion price, and I'm like, that's kind of a steal now.
Yeah, there's a lot to this year. Not only that, but you got to remember, Sony is Columbia Pictures.
Right.
Yeah. They've done that for a long time. So they've already got quite a healthy background to them. They've already got studios. This is all of Paramount Global. So this is even their real estate. This is their studios. This is where they film shit. Like this is all of the whole thing. Paramount
I believe
Global.
and
That's everything.
I believe also in here is Skydance as well.
Yeah, is in there too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, and we brought the NFL up. The NCAA men's tournament. That's also CBS.
Yep.
That's a fucking.
Yep.
That brings a shit ton of money in.
Wow.
Well, back in that last screen, you look at all of the Paramount. What's underneath Paramount, right?
Viacom.
Yeah, all the Viacom stuff. It has all of the other studios listed underneath. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
We just passed by it. But it's, I mean, there is a lot just underneath. DreamWorks they've invested in.
Yep.
The entire CBS library.
Yep. Here we go. There it is. They're licensing all their international stuff. Their different players, Nickelodeon movies, BET, Paramount Studio Group. So all of the studios and productions. Like, dude, this is an insane amount. Paramount Music. So whatever music they own the rights to, which is probably
not the Top Gun soundtrack.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
you get it now. You've got
all of that for 26. All of that for 26 billion. That's
USA
Networks. Wow, I just saw that.
Yep.
So Suits and White Collar, Growing Pains, man.
Wait, I thought WWE's. I thought their all their contracts are ending this year.
They're moving to that.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Raw is moving to Netflix. SmackDown is moving to the USA Network.
Okay.
Well,
thank you, track of shit.
Hanging out with Sony. What else you got in here? Famous Productions. All the Paramount. They have parks. Oh, Cedar Fair Entertainment Company. Okay, so they do have some.
Oh no, not Cedar Fair. Oh, that used to be Cedar Point. I went there when I was a kid many times. I forgot they renamed it.
That's theme parks then, right?
Yeah, that's a theme park.
I just worry about Sony streaming.
Okay, so now you got Sony, Universal are now going to start trying to take market share away from Disney theme parks.
Well, they're not going to try. They're not going to try. They're going to do it.
Yeah, they will. I mean,
and they'd be stupid not to with all the IPs they have.
Look, you can get a golf cart, a go-kart or whatever from Walmart or whatever, the baskets or whatever, and put it on a track and put it somewhere and you take market share away from Disney.
I've been playing Mario Kart in my room and I'm still taking market share from Disney.
You've got the Transformers movies you could have at that park. You've got the Sonic
which is now going to also incorporate GI Joe.
Yep.
Oh,
GI
boy.
Joe, dude. Transformers and GI Joe, the theme park,
Hell yeah.
Or the
dude.
video game.
Kung Fu Panda.
Hell yeah.
The games and such. I mean, this is the thing too. Sony's also got their game development end of things, but this is buying Paramount lock, stock, and barrel. If it's Paramount Global, it's the whole.
I saw something no one talked about. Cloverfield.
26 billion. Okay. Oh,
I'm a huge
wow.
Cloverfield fan.
is
And
in
Disney
there.
is huge into kaijus. Hopefully they'll fix
I
that
know.
series.
That would be interesting to see them.
I love
take
those
a good
movies.
hand
Like,
on it.
okay, bringing it back to the emotion scanning thing, right? So what if on PlayStation they'll have like the Paramount app still, right? And based on whatever you watch or whatever, they scan your emotions and you and a bunch of other people's, and a lot of people definitely like Top Gun and maybe some of these Transformer movies or something like that. Maybe not this one, and maybe and that's dated for them to be like, okay, maybe we can take something based off of this and make do something based on like the data we collected on positive expressions people get from Top Gun, and maybe we have a Top Gun ride, or we might do a Top Gun video
movie.
game or something like that, or maybe another movie.
Yeah.
So maybe it scans like, okay, maybe a lot of people didn't like whatever movie that came out. That was one of the Paramount features or something like that, right?
Oh, they liked it, but they didn't like these aspects. So next movie, we're gonna cut this shit out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Digging through this is so wild. Just seeing how much of this, all of this shit, dude. This is, that 26 billion cash. I think Joker was right there, man. This is a lot you're getting.
Yeah.
That's almost.
Now, I do worry about Sony and streaming because I used to have PlayStation View. That was the first.
Oh yeah.
Shout out that.
Whenever I stepped away from
Yeah.
cable and satellite, I've had PlayStation, I've had Hulu, I have Hulu now, I had YouTube TV, and a couple others. My favorite streaming service was PlayStation View, but they mismanaged it. They mismanaged the hell out of it.
Yeah.
They were losing money. Makes me nervous about them getting their hands on Paramount Plus, or even trying to get back into the streaming game. Guys, I hope you learned your lesson.
I mean, I hope this means that maybe they take some of the people with them who know that we're doing, because you're not wrong. In all honesty, I've had a problem with every single one of the things that Sony implements on their own that there's another competition for. Like PlayStation Network doesn't really have anything on Game Pass. Like UI, affordability, shit being on there, availability. Like Game Pass is actually not a bad fucking deal. I'm not paying for it right now, but like I have in the past, and I probably will again, just when something comes out that I want to get on it, because it's worthwhile. The UI is good. It's very easily accessible, and this is the problem I always had with PlayStation Network, even on the PS4. I don't have a PS5, but I don't know if it got better. But on the PS4, it wasn't any better. It was still just this this ass thing to navigate, and there just isn't.
It's easier now. It's a lot easier now.
You know, it would be funny.
I like it now.
If Steam did a membership subscription where you could still buy games, but they got you got access to everything on the Steam store by paying just one price a month or something like that, or price a year.
You got access to whatever, like developers would probably want to get in on that. That would be the real key, is getting developers to be like, hey,
because you already give when you put a game on Steam, you're already giving them a percentage of your sales. So what's stopping Steam to be like, hey, here's another option for your game if you opt in for it, where you become part of our monthly subscription service.
Almost like a Spotify model. The whole point, you have their libraries, and that's just with that game is being played, you get some of that money towards you, the developer or whoever owns the actual rights to the game.
I think that's a definite possibility. It all just has to do with how much what the percentage is that they give. I mean, it's all a money game, and you make it tantalizing for developers, and they'll be all in on it.
Well, I think Steam is a 30-70 split, if I remember, and then plus if you use so I think if I remember, I think Steam is 30-70 split, and then if you use like Unreal Engine to make your game, then after so many sales that you have, I mean, I know Unreal changed the engine, the rules for that, but after so many sales, then Unreal wants a cut, and then there's like a split between them as well too, and then plus whatever other software you use, like Autodesk and stuff like that.
Man, somebody coming for every piece of your development there, aren't they? Jeez.
Taxes, man.
Well, honestly, I mean, before Unreal got bought out by Tencent, because but what was cool because like you can download even Unity, you would download it for free, and you can make whatever you want, and like you could be like the smallest studio, just one person, no budget at all, make your game and launch it on Steam. And after you got like they didn't take a cut after so many sales, and then they take the portion, but you're still using like all their software and stuff to use. That I mean, that was the cool thing about using the Unreal software.
Yeah, I mean, especially with I guess also just with everything being kind of built around Unreal these days, I'm kind of wishing there was a little more out there for engines. Everybody's building in Unreal, and Unreal looks so good. I just wish there was more competition. But I guess it's difficult.
Well, okay. So a lot of studios, they've got their own in-house engines as well too. It's just but it's kind of like everyone can use Photoshop, right? By making a purchase of Photoshop or
It's a subscription now.
Yeah, but the cool thing about Unreal, there is no subscription. You could keep working on Unreal until your game is become 100% done, and then you can launch it on Steam and make up a portion of the sales from your time and labor. And then once you reach a certain threshold, then Valve and then Unreal start taking their portions from your sales. And you could have been like, you had no budget at all. You just like, hey, I just pay for the 3D modeling software and I can upload everything to Unreal. I think same thing happened with Unity, but Unity tried to do the subscription model, and that's like everyone jumped ship. It's like, okay, we're just going to Unreal.
Everyone got really pissed at Unity for that shit. Well, that and it was a lot of things that are through Nintendo got used.
I'll tell you why a lot of people use Unreal. They're blueprints. Where you connect the blueprints and make certain actions happen and stuff without you actually knowing programming is so powerful to get things to happen. And that's why a lot of people use it too, is because of the blueprints. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but
I mean, this is fascinating. I'm learning so much. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, you're the professional there, sir. So definitely appreciate the insight into all of that. But yeah, I'm still scrolling through this year. God, there's so much stuff that this is bigger than anything Disney bought. I almost think, dude, this is incredible.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much though within the CBS, the Viacom CBS / Paramount Global, because the Redstones themselves have a lot of property. Because the Redstone side of it is amusement parks.
It sounds like that. This is for the whole thing, dude. This is how do you? I mean, this just boggles my mind looking at this. Like, you're not just buying IP, you're buying real estate, you're buying music, you're buying like this is. I mean, I would imagine
for only $22 billion too.
And there's a kickback
advertisement
somewhere.
says Joker's brought up.
Or
all that income.
Or I've seen some companies, maybe not billion-dollar companies like this. I'm sure it's happened, but like the owner's like, I'm done. I'm selling this shit for like pennies on a dollar. I just want out.
Well, I don't even know if it's that right now.
Simon and Schuster. I just saw that. They also have Simon and Schuster.
Wow.
No way. Geez, they even have financial institutions. This is crazy.
Are you serious? Man.
Laboratories.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, this is the thing. This is pretty wild. I mean, Paramount's been around for a long time. They've got their hands in a lot of things. Well, just like Disney has their hands in real estate and all kinds of crazy shit that you look at their books. There's a ton of stuff there that you don't even realize is there. But at least they'll get rid of the loss of the CW. What I probably see happening with this is Sony probably buys all of this.
Well, the CBD dub is still a thing because that's where NXT is going next year.
Yeah.
But they can, but it's a different company now controlling it. If you were back on the CWC, that it's
Right,
Nexstar that's
that's right.
controlling
That's right.
controlling stock of it.
Well, it says there even Paramount Pictures and Records has been there since the 1910s. So, so since the early 1900s, there's like assets that they could just go through, whatever.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if most of these
subsidiary of Sega.
Don't be surprised.
Don't be Sega.
Do not be surprised if in the next 10 years most of your entertainment is owned by 3 companies.
Yeah, very true. Well, this is wild here. Around 81, Paramount Pictures took over fellow Gulf and Western subsidiary Sega, and it is the Sega. Sony is buying Sega, for fuck's sake. What?
81?
Okay.
Jesus
Nobody.
Hold on. Here's the other thing. Sega's making games for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. So
I wonder how that's gonna play with Universal with Epicverse or whatever their world.
It's also gone full circle, right? Because Nintendo was working with Sony, and Sony didn't like the pressure from Nintendo and split off and made their PlayStation 1.
That's true. Yeah.
And so, and that, I mean, that's the only reason why we have a video game division of Sony is because of Nintendo back in the day.
Yeah, because the original PlayStation was a Nintendo unit when it was being developed.
Yeah.
Does this mean Sonic games are going to be PlayStation exclusive? How is this not? I'm surprised this hasn't come up on side scrollers, but this is kind of late in the day that I saw this happening. So of all the shows out there, we're probably one of the first to actually really dig into this.
Well, they got so many properties that I didn't know Sega was owned by Paramount, but honestly, here's what some companies do too, is like they got different divisions. So they might just keep a branch of Sega, just like it still runs their own. Like even StreamYards got sold the other day, right? And so but when StreamYards first got sold, the developers were still there upgrading it and stuff like that too. So they might have some deals where like, okay, maybe these studios remain as their own, but they're a subsidiary of Paramount, who's now a subsidiary of Sony.
Keep the name, just a different owner.
Yeah. Pretty much. This is pretty wow.
Not gonna lie, I did see a lot of John Hughes films in there. And one thing I do know is that John Hughes films do not contain very politically correct language that would be acceptable to our modern. I mean, they're using F slurs, and they're not clean. They're not kind to soft ears. If the rights to that do get re-released, if that Sony does somehow, I don't know, issue the rights to that out to like Netflix or some other streaming service, will those words be censored? I wonder, and that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I wonder.
See, like even right there, you just had your mouse on, right? So there's 2 versions of Sega. There's the Sega in Japan, and there's the Sega here in the States still. So I'm sure there's some type of like legal stuff that they have worked through where maybe the Sega in Japan still has the overarching like control, but then in the Sega of America has their own like other things that they can work on, but they still have to like so I'm sure it's going to be a lot of weird deals and stuff going on, but
a lot of weird deals. I think finish. Sorry.
Oh, okay. We might not see any changes right away or nothing like that, or maybe not with everything. It might just still looking normal because like same thing as like when Coca-Cola and stuff is owned by one company and we don't know unless someone tells you.
Yep. I think that what we'll also see is besides deals, and you're probably going to see some lawsuits. Like there's probably going to be a lot. This is so big. There's no way that this doesn't end up being very messy for a little while. Like if this does happen, I think that it happens and it sits and it simmers and it boils and like it. You know, this is something that's going to be like 10 years down the road before it's probably fully settled and they're really doing a lot with it. Like before you see a big change out of it, just because of this is. Yeah, I don't think anybody.
There's going to be a transition period. That's what I say.
There was one movie
with all.
There's one movie series on that list that they definitely would not be able to make nowadays. The Naked Gun series.
I was doing it.
I don't want them to.
I don't want anybody. I don't want any modern. I don't want anyone born from like 1980 to now to touch Naked
They're
Gun.
doing it, and Liam Neeson's starring.
Oh, they are. God damn it! I forgot about that.
And
I was happy
Seth MacFarlane's writing and directing it. Or producing it.
Oh no!
I'm okay. I am okay with
Seth
that
is-
because he is not. He has not been too. He's a leftist nut job, but he has not been too kind about like this idiotic nanny state approach.
Yeah.
What, look at
Did you see his show Good Times that just came out?
No.
No. Their Ted was pretty offensive too, so it's like it's kind of great.
But if you look at one of what I think it was first season of Orville, they had an episode that was literally like social credit score with up and downs.
Yeah, they had a couple of them,
and it was attack, and it wasn't. It ended up being an attack on that type of society.
Yeah, like he is. Would say I would call him more of like a classic, almost like a Bill Maher classic liberal. Yeah, he'll shut on conservatives more than anybody else, but he does still. He is not kind to censors. He hates it. In fact, one of his most well-known songs was the FCC, where it's making fun of them, trying to censor jokes and trying to making fun of all the different ways that the FCC makes them rephrase dirty jokes, and he hates that. He's hated it from the beginning. That's like season 2.
I hope that he doesn't. I hope that he. I hope that he does it well. I hope that he doesn't fuck with it. Well, yeah, we've managed to make it to roughly about the 2-hour mark here. So that was there's a lot here, man. I think we're going to see a lot of this getting talked about next week. I think that you're going to see people digging into this, and as this becomes maybe more of a real thing, you're going to see a lot of this getting torn apart because there's more there than we could do 2 hours just on this whole topic. I think there's a lot to it, but it's exciting. It's interesting. I'm definitely more comfortable with Sony stepping in to do this than I would have been with Apple and Amazon, which is what was being a little bit predicted by some. So I guess we could take this as maybe kind of good news, hopefully.
No.
Well,
sure, okay, maybe not good news, but better than Apple or Amazon.
I'll give you that.
Sony also makes Spider-Man films.
Fucking hell.
And
hey, don't start trashing Madam Web.
Or it's more
because then that's a whole nother thing.
Or Kraven the Hunter, or Venom, or
Black Adam.
Yes.
To be fair,
my mistake.
The Spider-Man movies weren't bad, but everything else that they've done in the Spider-Verse,
no.
is but
the Andrew Garfield films, they were terrible.
I liked them.
The first one was okay. The second one was dog shit.
I would agree.
I liked him.
And the third Spider-Man film was off. And the third Spider-Man film was terrible.
I would rather watch the third Spider-Man over anything Marvel does now.
Over Shang-Chi.
We'll say that.
I will say this. Spider-Man 2, probably one of the best comic book movies ever.
Oh, dude. Absolutely. There's no freaking way, dude. That's top tier. Everything from the direction to the acting to the sets.
There is a child.
So good.
Action, yeah. Oh,
yeah, they do that.
I'll tell you this though, nothing tops the best Venom ever on in live action than Topher Grace.
fucking dollar store Tobey Maguire. Oh god.
So funny story about that. I learned originally Tobey Maguire was kind of leveraging some of his contract, trying to get more money out of it. They were going if they couldn't come up with the deal, they were going to toss him and then have Topher Grace be Peter Parker. But since he ended up coming back, and so like, well, we have to hire this guy. What do we do with him? Oh, just cast him as Eddie Brock. He'll be Venom. Okay. Stupid idea, but there's the reason. You said dollar store Tobey Maguire. That was literally his purpose.
Because he was probably already contractually obligated. They were already contractually obligated to use him in the movie.
Well, he was also trying to squeeze more money out of him because he suffered like a really bad back injury, and so he was trying to leverage that into more than his contract afforded him. And they're like, so it was kind of tense for a little bit. So that's why they had Topher waiting in the wings.
But Mary Jane didn't get equal pay. No,
yeah, because the movie's called Mary Jane 2.
Exactly. Well, maybe if she would have been in more soaking wet rain scenes.
Hell yeah.
In a very thin T-shirt, I could see a reason to bump that salary up. But
I watched Naked and Melancholia.
I watched those 3 movies, and I kind of see Mary Jane as more of the villain throughout the entire run.
No, dude, I can see that. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like the state of mind that she puts Peter Parker in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some runs in the comics that were a lot like that, where the relationship with Mary Jane, that's always been the one
where she jumps off the building and then he catches her like after he asks her to marry him, and he's like, I was just seeing if you'll be there.
Oh, dude, that's some toxic behavior right there. Red flags, red flags. That's what they do when they're crazy hot, I suppose. But on that, guys,
praying over the making Mendoza diagonal. Never mind.
Yes. We are near the end here, so let's do some outros. It looks like Darnell has got some children wandering around, as I do. They're getting restless. They know that, after about 2 hours on a stream, it's time for them to start invading. So we'll start with you, Vagabond. What do you got coming up, man?
Well, tonight I'll be on another stream. I'll be on the Bezel Pub. It's going to be at 12 a.m. Pacific time and 3 a.m. my time. So
sleep. God,
yeah, who needs sleep?
Yeah, who needs sleep? And then, so I'll be on there next tonight, and then you'll catch me all over the place. Again, if you're coming into MomoCon, try to spot me out there, and I'll be not this weekend, but the following weekend, I'll be at the Sim concert here in Georgia.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, Strider, what do you got coming up, my man?
I'm going to be doing a video just kind of ranting about Square Enix canceling pretty much all of their games and how I think it's kind of indicative of the idiocy of modern game designers not doing anything with their IPs. And so I've got a video gonna be doing probably tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. And then I'll be on MSK's stream in just a little bit for Friday Bangers. I'll be on as long as I can.
Sweet. All right, Drunken Emerald Arrow, what do you got coming up, man?
Got MSK's show this evening, and continuing to get ready to review a few other items. Like I said, I've now got up to episode 7 of X-Men 97. Quite enjoying that one. And we're going to continue to review some more movies.
All righty. And Joker's Voice, what do you got coming up, man?
WWE. Lots of WWE stuff, which is more integrated into my channel now, because let's face it, WWE's been a lot more entertaining than Hollywood has been. And so you also got me on the Monday where we're reviewing. We've been going back through. We went through the entire series of House of the Dragon. Now we're in. I'm sorry, we did the entire series of Game of Thrones. Now we're in House of the Dragon. We'll be at episode 6 this week. Monday going over. Wednesday night is overbooked. Myself, Ryan Legion, Duke Devil 95, and Left Eye Ego talking about the state of the WWE. You get their takes, and then you get the right opinion here. And then Friday, I should be back here again. I'm glad I was able to contribute something at the end. You guys are talking gaming, and I'm just.
I saw it. We could see it. It's like, oh, they're still talking about this. Okay.
Really gaming stuff. I definitely get it. All right. Thank all of you guys for showing up tonight. I know everything's been kind of crazy and rushed. I'm usually not setting up on a Friday night, but thankfully I got done with work quickly. Let's see, what do I got coming up this week? I'm actually overly busy. I've got 3 more streams to set up this weekend. Give you one of these guys to make everybody offended. I've got Dad's Cast tomorrow night. That's my show over on Rumble and YouTube. I'll be talking to Shagsworth about his journey through fatherhood. Always a good conversation. I love talking about dad stuff with everybody. It's what got me into the whole streaming game. Sunday morning, I'm going to be doing a little show I call Sunday Morning Unboxing. Extra Zero is going to come by. We're going to open up some Transformers and some G.I. Joe figures and talk about Transformers alternators and some of the things that they've led to more high quality toys. And then Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be throwing up a game stream. I'm going to be gaming with Tim the Tool Man from Louder with Crowder. We're going to be playing some Helldivers, probably for the last time for a little while. So definitely looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. And yeah, so a very busy weekend that I didn't see coming until roughly about Tuesday yesterday when some of it happened, actually. So we'll see how he does. I'm going to be a real streamer this weekend. I'm just going to live at this desk all weekend. So it should be a lot of fun. But it was really good hanging out with you guys tonight. The chat, Phil's shocker, Katie's dog for the dono over there on Rumble for that rant, and everybody in the chats on YouTube as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's all wish Iron Oxide a quick recovery, and we will see you guys next Friday. Same rogue place, same rogue channel. Well, not my channel, Iron Oxide's channel, but you get what I mean. See you guys later.
I'll be back.